Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, I'm gonna brew a little cool deck of my own, and that is Monument Jewels. So I really wanted to work the Enigma Jewels and Collector's Vault into the Monument to Endurance combo, but it was always hard to get just exactly the right card, the right trigger. But now, with Ninja Turtles, we got another cool brewed discard outlet that kind of just helps us because whenever we incidentally discard, we can deal damage. So just like the Monument, this helps us push a lot more damage. Along with that, there is a hidden side to Cobra Root that a lot of times people are forgetting, right? People remember Chapter 1 with Level 1 and Level 2. Not that many people think about the Level 3 part of gambling. But gambling is pretty fun in this deck because we can gamble Enigma Jewel, and that can help us get explosive turns. Or we can gamble into Monument or Collector's Vault to help us kind of keep churning. And even if we lose the gamble, we still deal those 2 damage. With this deck, it's really just about pushing a little bit of damage here or there. And incidentally, whenever we discard, we can kind of close out the game with that extra damage. Coolbaroo also kind of synergizes with Artist Talent because, well, Artist Talent wants to discard, and Coolbaroo wants to take those discard and turn them into damage. And then level 3 of Artist Talent turns those damage into +2 damage. Now imagine if I have 2 Coolbaroo, both on level 2 and Artist Talent at level 3, then whenever we discard a card, that is 8 damage, right? Each is 4, so that is 8 damage. So when you play a spell, you do 8 damage. Imagine that kind of scenario. Play a spell, draw a card, discard a card, deal 8 damage. That is wild. And that is the wildness of this deck. And the best thing about Enigma Jewels is that the 2 mana that was given to us from the early game ramp, we can actually use that to level up, right? Coolbaroo, we got 1 colorless pip, and Artist Talent, we got 2 colorless pip. They can all be drained out or used in the Enigma Jewel mana. And the great thing about this is what's it called? The mana that we get is not a Power Stone mana, right? That mana is just spend this mana to activate any abilities. So we can use that to activate Collector's Vault, which is the thing, but not only that, we can use that to level up. And one other thing that you can use it to do, cycle. Cycle Marauding Mako for 2 mana. Don't forget, that's also an ability. I actually forgot another thing. Agna Qel'a, the land, costs 3 mana, but 2 of them are colorless. So if you have an Enigma Jewel, you can Agna Qel'a for card draw as well. You're not going to get that mana screwed if you can, use one of your lands to churn through your deck. So that is, the package idea. Now let's talk about the deck list. So turn 1, the best card to play in turn 1 is Enigma Jewel. Hopefully you get to go first, turn 1 Jewel, turn 2 Collector's Vault, right? That is the dream. The dream that I'll never have, but it's a dream nevertheless. Aside from that, you can also turn 1 Mako, which is a very good tempo play because as soon as you stick Mako, number 1 is that every discard will now have a payoff. But number 2 is that a lot of times the opponent will, take their turn 2 or turn 1 off if you have to go first, and they will answer your Mako, giving you more time to set up. And this deck, if it sets up, is so deadly. So that is our turn 1 play. The interaction, I'm not going to talk about too much. So turn 1 is that. Turn 2, here we have Collector's Vault. The dream turn 2 is those 2, so we can start churning and getting treasures. But we can also Coolbaroo. Not the best turn 2 in this deck because unless you Mako turn 1, this card attacker is not really going to hit there. But we do have 2 Artist Talent, which is another turn 2 play we can make to start threatening our opponent. They might think that we are Lessons. They might think we're something else. But mainly, if we turn 1 Jewel and turn 2 Artist Talent, turn 3 we can pay 1 red and the Jewel to level this up, making all of our non-creature spell cost 1 less, which does help the whole deck a lot. And turn 2 we have Charming Scoundrel. I wanted to try out this card because she actively makes us discard or creates a treasure. Both are pretty useful. With the Monument out, you can just discard and get a treasure anyways. So that's pretty good. And Charming Scoundrel is a hasty attacker, and that attack triggers Coolbaroo. So, yeah, that's our side of the combo. Going to turn 3, or 3 mana play, of course, we got the Monument to Endurance, the top end of the deck, Monument to Endurance. Then, we have a little bit of interaction. I put in 4 Into the Flood Maw. It's going to be a very strong card against bad Dremel decks, because we can bounce their, man lands and they just go away. That's crazy. And then we have 4 Burst Lightning, which is pretty good at removing early game creatures, but it's also great at going face. So if we need a little bit more damage, Burst Lightning can help us push there. Not only does it deal to 2 or potentially 4 damage, it can churn an Artist Talent right? And then we'll discard cards, and all of a sudden we're dealing more damage with Monument, with Cobra Roots, and things like that. And then I have 3 steps ahead. This is probably the most iffy card in the deck. I want to know how good 3-step is. If we can get all these treasures, perhaps we can copy a Monument, and now this 3 steps will be insane. But that is the dream. I don't know if in Standard we can even get to that dream, because that costs a lot of mana. But the biggest thing this deck has that a lot of Monument deck doesn't have is the ability to generate a lot of treasures, right? Collector's Vault with Enigma Jewel should be able to generate a lot of treasures in the early to mid game. Charming Scoundrel also create treasures even without the Monument themselves, but with the Monument we can get a lot more treasure. And if you get multiple Monuments out, this deck is unbeatable, and it's not as susceptible to a lot of disruption like other decks are. So it's not easy to counter this deck because we got so many cheap spells that are not very good on their own, so you don't really want to counter any one specific card, and it's not easy to hate on this, like a Graveyard Hate won't work on this deck at all. So there's one of the Izzet deck that does not get hit by a Graveyard Hate. Now we could get, a lot of our enchantment removal, aura removals, like your Shelter by Ghosts and things like that, and that's where all these small removal and bounce spells could be useful. And then our land base, I'm only going to run 22 lands because obviously the curve goes 1, 2, and 3. So I have 4 Riverpyre Verge, 4 Spirebluff Canal, 4 Steam Vents, only 2 Thundering Falls. I don't want too many Thundering Falls because they're tap lands, and we're going 1, 2, and 3, right? And then we have a lot of basic lands, 7 Island and 2 Mountain. That many basic lands help us get a untapped Agna Qel'a on the whenever we play it. So that is the whole idea of the deck. Let's go into the game and see how well we will do. Alright, our opponent is Rune. Please don't ruin this game for me. Let me play. Alright, we can be cool. We can be cool. And a little bit rude. I like doing both. No? Alright. Maybe we'll get our Spirebluff Canal on. I don't know. I don't have a removal in the hand. There's 8 removals in the deck. You'd think I'd get some, but nah. Our opponent's mulliganing. They got some cool frozen sleeves. Wonder what they're going to be playing. Alright, not enough 1 drop in the deck for us to hit 1 in the mulligan. They're playing Swamp. They're playing Swamp. Can't really fight the cool Valut that easily, so here we go. Okay, Seam Rip immediately gets rid of our coolness. What a jerk, right? Do I just hit him with a Scoundrel? No, I think we just get a second one out. Do they have more? You just Seam Rip all day? Oh yeah, yes they do. Alright, we got a Spirebluff Canal, so I guess we'll hold up our counter spells. Yeah, Izzet has a hard time fighting enchantments, unfortunately. I mean, obviously it'd be better to have been on the plane. Corpse, though. This is this deck. Well, I have no respect for you. Get out. Ooh, a Monument. If I put out a Monument, I actually can't counter his next play, but... Is that so bad? Also, if I put out a Monument, I'm going to have to counter... Well, I'm going to have to drop my 3 steps ahead. For this scar, right? I mean, it still do it. Let's discard a card, draw a card. I'll draw another card. Please and thank you. Oh, time to be rude. Time to be very rude. Oh, he's gonna case us. Shelter by Ghosts on this Monument. Alright. It's a little late for this, but you know, I think we can still do it. Discard a card, draw a card. Alright, do we make it so that our Artist Talent kind of chains off? Yeah, let's do that. I think it's fine. Nowhere to run on our Scoundrel. Can't attack no more, I guess. I suppose that's something. Shelter again on... What? On a brewed. I mean, our opponent got the best draws. So there's 2 shelters. I had to pay through both those shelters. I mean, pay through both of those wards. Let's do it. You want to get your best draws? I'll get my best draws. Please and thank you. I mean, I can trigger the discard with brewed. He took out 2 of mine already. Yeah. Alright. We'll level this up, see what we can get here. We will fetch for... I think we fetch for a Collector's Vault. If that gets discarded, it's too bad, but I can live with that. It did get discarded. It's too bad, but I can live with that. I can draw a card. I can get a treasure token. Well, I also draw a card, right? No, I just deal 2 damage. So we'll draw that card. This one I'll have to discard a card here for the Artist Talent. And now I can get a treasure. There we go. Now I do this on his turn. I can get another treasure or something. I don't actually... Well, I draw a card. I don't discard a card because I have no cards to discard. You gonna sack for a shelter? For a seam rip. What are you gonna sack it for? Ah, United Battlefront. Okay. Makes sense. It's a good card for that deck. Seam rip and a Weaver. What would you rip here? Would he rip the activated brewed? He would rip the activated brewed. Now I can bounce something. Is it really worth it? I don't discard a card, so I don't draw a card, right? Yeah, we'll let him do this. Level this up twice. Let's dig for another card. I mean, Monument's kind of the best card, so I'll just dig for that. Discard, so I'll draw a card. 2 damage. I play this Monument. I could discard this. Well, I mean, no, not necessarily. Burst Lightning. Alright, that's good enough. I will be able to make a treasure. And deal 2 damage. And I can use this treasure. I can use it on his turn, though. Yeah, let's do it on his turn. Burst Lightning. I'll discard a card. Draw a card. And I'll activate 2 of these. So the first is, I would like to draw a card, and I'll create a treasure. It's a land. Okay. I mean, these Monument triggers are pretty wild. Our opponent's just gonna quit. Yeah. Look, it's just 3 sea rips, but we got 4 brewed. Alright, our opponent is 1P0093. Opponent goes first. I think with the Jewel is that I usually get either the Jewel or the other thing, the not Jewel, but not both. Yeah, let's just make my mana good, right? That gives me a dimension to consider. Oh, you got a Sunset Saboteur. I had to discard a card. It's honestly not so bad if I had to discard a card. The whole deck is about discarding cards. I don't want to have to do it this early, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, where is he putting that? Flying, First Strike, and Lifelink. We'll kill it. I mean, obviously we'll kill it, right? Like, that's a pretty good card, so we just got a bunch of counter spells. I could have attacked and tried to catch it off guard, but I don't think they'll work. Yeah, I'm gonna counter that. Scary card. We're not getting any discard outlets. Now it is. I mean, I'm not going to use it to block. Might as well use it to attack. Rock Curse Rakshasa. I think we let that one out. As annoying as it might be, right? It's a lot of damage, but I gotta stop the Anix. Would I be able to hit a land? Or something else that I want? I don't know. Let's just do it first. Yeah, this keeps my treasure. Again, I won't be able to use it to block. Might as well use it to attack. Well, none of our payoffs are here. So, that's unfortunate. I could 3 steps to copy the Collector's Vault. Yeah, we gotta stop this. Otherwise, the Rockers Rakshasa is just a 5/5. Alright, cool brewed. Do we level this up and try to get a card? This is kind of tricky, right? What do I want to even get? Like a bounce spell? Immediately gets discarded, unfortunately. It's something. It's not the greatest, but it's something, and we're gonna have to hope that it gets us there. Jeez. Well, I only got one little burst. Do I even burst this? I'm gonna take this 5 anyway, so I might need that card. No, there's a Flood Maw. Okay. I mean, we still do this. Get a card draw here. Drop the Burst Lightning. Awkward enough. I have a Flood Maw and I can 3 steps. We played it again. Did I counter? I can counter and draw cards. Can I counter and copy? It costs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It costs 6 mana. Can I counter and copy? Using up all my treasures. Will have to do. Cecil. I can draw and discard a card, and now I'll draw 2 cards to do that. Do I have any sorcery interactions? I mean, I haven't activated this at all. Might as well do it this turn. I do want that card though, unfortunately. Alright, so we drew and discard a card, then we can draw a card and make a treasure. Just draw another card here. This is tricky. He's still at 18, because I only got 1 coolness. He's got an Unholy Annex, which will drain him faster now. But the Abigail is scared to attack, and the Cecil is not attacking. Alright. If he doesn't want to attack with Cecil. Oh, here we go. This is where we get the big bucks. Alright, do I want to activate it again? What do I do if I activate it again? I search for... Probably just search for a bounce spell. Ah, too bad. Discarded itself. Alright. Don't think he can discard to deal enough damage next turn. I have to attack to get there, right? I also don't think he can do enough damage. So we'll see. Bloodletter, huh? Well, we're gonna do this. Show him what's up. Draw a card, discard the vault. And I'm going to create a treasure token. And guess what? With that treasure token, now I can cycle. That's a discard. You can lose some life. Bam! Ha! Got there. With the weird draw and all of our opponent's Abigails. Good enough. Alright, our opponent is Silmaril. Okay. That's a jewel and a vault. That's a very good go first. Whether or not we'll... Well, that's a very good first hand. Whether or not we'll be able to get it there depends on how our opponent going first will affect us. I'm already getting kind of scared. Oh yeah. I should be very scared. But you know... It is what it is. Like, I can play Mako and brewed. No, I cannot. No, I cannot. Do we discard one of the brewed? Oh, he's gonna full bore us. Oh, jeez.
I mean, maybe we'll get a Flood Maw here. You never know. That's not a Flood Maw. I don't know if I want to keep that though. I need the counterspell, right? I don't think I need the Scoundrel. Costs too much to cast here. Alright, are they gonna fling us for 5? I mean, for 6? He does fling us for 7. I mean, okay, we're down to 5. That is relevant. So if I play Mako here, definitely play Mako here. Alright, that's a definite. And then now I have 2 mana here, so I should Steam Bank. I can use up the mana for a counterspell if I need to. I kind of have to counter this, right? Or I counter the 3 damage spell? Yeah, I counter the 3 damage spell. Or this. I have no life gain. There's no Shelter by Ghost in this deck. But that's something, right? Alright, let's see if I can live. Sack this creature, deals 1 damage. I'm gonna have to hard counter it. Gonna have to hard counter it. But we do draw 2 cards, and we'll discard the Jewel. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get there. I need another counter spell. I already used 2. Okay, post combat is wild. Okay, when I attack, I discard a card, so make this a 6. I deal 2 more. I don't think this is going to be enough. This Burst Lightning had to go here anyways. Yep. Now, I don't know if I can afford to attack anymore, even. Gotta hold up, I have a blocker, otherwise I die to, like, a charger. Okay, there was no charger. So, do I look for a counterspell? This will deal 4 damage every discard. And a discard deal 4 damage, discard deal 4, and that's 8. 8 plus. Alright. Oh, there's a stick. I don't like that stick. I mean, since there's a stick, right? Whatever it is will kill me. So, I can't imagine there is a card opponent has that doesn't immediately kill us. Maybe he's holding off for a counter spell, right? Still, I gotta do it. There's no world where I don't do this. Draw a card, discard a card. Draw a card, discard a card. Do I just wait till his turn? I can discard this card and deal 4 damage right away, right? I feel like he's responding to something. Does he have a burn spell? Is he just waiting for the last moment? No, we got there. I don't know what he has. Maybe he was just roping me for fun, but we are the cooler deck. Alright, our opponent is Roga. Pack leader Roga. Opponent goes first. Not as fun, especially with these Enigma Jewels and Artist Talent that has no red. But I can activate the Agna Qel'a, so guess we'll try it. There's 2 jewels. Opponent going first. Oh, mow down to 5. Badger mold deck? Bleachbone Verge. Graveyard deck? Cool brewed. He is mana screwed. I too am mana screwed, but at least I get to filter my draws a bit. That's not the best, is it? Huh. Okay. This draws 1 card. This, oh, I can't even play it. No, I gotta discard a card. With this deck, would I just discard Burst Lightning here? Yeah, the Flood Maw will probably help a lot more than Burst Lightning. And now that I have Monument and Artist Town, Terminus, I don't want to give him a fish, do I? Nah, not worth the fight there. So I could Artist Talent and then level up the Artist Talent. Honestly, does that do much? It makes my spell cost 1 less. I think I do it. The 1 blue can help me play the Flood Maw if I need to. And then we get a cheap Endurance, a cheap good. Okay. He's just gonna GG because he has 2 lands. Good play. Alright, our opponent is Praxiol. Please don't proxy. Opponent goes first. Well. I guess. I don't know. I mean, I can Mako, but they're blue-whites. Perhaps a mill deck, which makes it even more difficult, and another land. This is a basic land, right? So I can't play the Agna Qel'a until I play this mountain. Authority? At least I don't attack that much. Charming Scoundrel is going to come into play tapped. Okay. That's 7 lands in the top 10 cards. So I guess we meet the you must lose algorithm here. Play Fire Bricks, of course. This is deck. Cool. Perfectly what I wanted to see in an opponent. I don't think I need the Steam Vents here, right? There's no need. I might toss the Steam Vents later, but he'll probably just take my Monument out. Synthesizer? Okay. Not taking out the Monument. Annoying, but respectable. For now. We will see where all this goes. I get a treasure. Right, I get a treasure here for sure. Well, I draw and discard a card, get a treasure anyways. I should be doing that. Alright, my 3 steps gonna have to counter his next play. Probably United Battlefront. Pinnacle Star Cage. What does Star Cage do? Takes out my Scoundrel? It takes out, well... I mean, it takes out this treasure. That's the biggest thing. I don't want to lose this treasure. Might as well stop it now. It's doing something. Enigma Jewel? How about more lands? Probably draw cards here at this point, right? Discard a card to draw a card. Mako. We'll draw another card. I don't think I can rush there fast enough. Alright, we got another 3 steps, so we'll keep this going. Repo Bay. That's too scary. Hey, look, another one with Charming Scoundrel. Alright, well, I don't think I do the Charming Scoundrel here. I think I just cycle the Mako. I'm gonna draw a card. Or make him lose 3 life. If I make him lose 3 here, hold on a second. 3, 7, 8, 9. Takes 9, go down to 7. This is draw a card and discard a card. Snare? Alright, what does he snare? The Mako, okay. Mako is not Monument. He should have took out the Monument. Lose 3 life, please. Oh, we get the cool brewed him. Yeah, GG. Nice artifact deck. Oh, those counter spells really helped. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those Monumental Jewel games, how does this deck feel? Well, I gotta say, you gotta have Monumental Jewels to play this deck. Right? It is tricky. It is a lot of math involved with the rope. You gotta figure out when to discard, how many cards you want to discard, when do you level up. But it's fun. I had more fun playing this Izzet deck than almost any of the other top tier Izzet decks, because those decks feel like they're on rails, right? They're very strong, but you play the card, and you win. But this deck, there's so many different dimensions to think about in terms of what you should be playing. Should you be drawing cards and creating treasure, or should you be, activating artist talent? So many dimensions make this deck interesting, and I'm sure I misplayed a few times. Right? I often forget that Marauding Mako's cycling ability could be activated, or could be played through the Enigma Jewel's mana cost, so I actually have an extra mana than I thought I would. A lot of times I'm thinking about 3 steps ahead as just a counterspell or a counterspell card draw with this card. I forget to copy, or sometimes I forget that I can just copy and then I'll get 2 Monument, which it doesn't matter if I counter or not, I would just win there. Sometimes I'll forget that I can draw 2 cards and discard a card as an ability on the 3 steps ahead, and I hold it for too long as a counterspell. So there are a lot of fun tricks with this deck, which I really appreciate. And I did say that 3 steps ahead is probably the most iffy card. After playing out today, I kind of disagree with that now. 3 steps ahead saved us in a lot of games. Obviously, it's not very good early game when your opponent's going turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and by their turn 3, you don't even have 3 mana yet, so no point holding up a 3 step ahead. Spell Snare will be better in those scenarios, but it has this is kind of the top end card, right? If you draw your top end card early game, that is your fault. The card that's actually iffy is Charming Scoundrel. She's good, right? She does exactly what we want this deck to do, but the problem with her is costs too much. For 2 mana to get this ability, 2 mana to draw a card and discard a card is not great, right? We can just do one of those demand answers and we draw 2 cards. And then 2 mana to create a treasure, it's also not great. For that kind of mana, we can just, get an actual treasure generator. So she does have modes, but all the modes don't matter as much. So perhaps I would rather have things like what's the red one, the FOMO, Fear of Missing Out. Because you still draw a card, discard a card, and you activate all of your discard triggers, but it makes attacking so much more threatening and forces your opponent to answer. Whereas in Charming Scoundrels, once you play her, she doesn't force your opponent to do anything, and that might be an issue. But I don't know. This is just how I feel about today's run. But this deck needs a lot more fine-tuning, and I hope other people pick up on this as Izzet looting. This is technically Izzet looting, right? But with a slant of the Enigma Jewel and Collector's Vault, which I really love. And I want this deck to go the distance. That's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.